Alright, what's up everyone? So, I'm releasing an EP this Sunday, like the 14th I think, and I'm just gonna make a video on probably about every single song in that EP, so all 4 songs, and just going over the project file on each one of them, probably just lightly brushing over arrangement and kind of sound selection, and probably just going over all my serum patches and kind of explaining what I'm doing in all of them and kind of how you can recreate them. And yeah, it probably won't be super in detail, but if you want anything in more detail, just leave it in the comments. I will make sure to definitely follow up on that if you want any, like, I don't know, better, preset show-offs on some of these different weird sounds. Yeah, just let me know. I'll definitely make it because, yeah, I like my serum sounds. But anywho, this is kind of like what the file looks like. This is such a weird one to make, honestly. And the name is also very weird, but yeah, I did a lot of like weird high resonance sounds because make it sticky, because that cat is sticky, so I had to make the song kind of, I don't know, give off the perception of stickiness, but also kind of be danceable. So it's a really weird song, but kind of interesting at the same time and not boring. So yeah, let's just get into it. So I hope it's not too loud because I do have my master chain on. It's like fucking 5 ozones, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. And yeah, let's just get right into where we all started here. So let's just start it out. We have, so yeah, it's going to be a bit delayed because it's running through all this shit. I could take it off, but I kind of forgot. I don't want to do it right now. But yeah, we have these sounds. This is a reactor instrument. This one's, fuck, what's this one called? I think this is just a pad here. Should, like, 1 second, let me. Alright, so I got this set up so I can kind of demonstrate, but yeah, this is just like a pad. It's like one note, it's kind of like sequency, so that's going through this whole thing. But then I also have these 2 other reactor instruments here, and these are, it's kind of like almost like an analog step sequencer thing. So this is called, what's this fucking thing called? It's like New School from like Native Instruments Reactor. I honestly accidentally pulled up this, and then it, it just started making its noises. I was like, oh, that's sick. So I just threw that in there, and I have one of those, and I also have another one, which kind of slowly comes in. So it kind of starts out with this randomized kind of analog vibe, because like every sound is random. Like I would close this file, open it again, and the intro is going to be different every time. So yeah, the whole intro is really randomized on kind of what sounds I get from this instrument in particular. So it kind of just randomly generates all this random shit, and just put some like hybrid reverb on, turn the vintage up a bit so you can get some more ringness, and that's really honestly about it. And then I have this like sticky kind of little pluck thing that I made. I don't want to spend too much time dwelling on certain elements that don't really matter too much, because I want to spend more time on kind of the drops. I gotta arm this fucker, damn it. But yeah, this is just like a thing. Like, it's super easy intro. It's just all fucking just blocked out, but it all evolves because of that kind of weird analog vibe. Then we have this thing come in. It's like a stab, I think. Yeah, so this is same as one of these in the drop, so you can kind of just get it warmed up for the drop, but it's reverbed out. So it's just like a really slow, weird, eerie beginning. Yeah, you have that. It's really long, drawn out, and then you get into here, then it gets a little bit, okay, you're going somewhere now, because you have this. So this is like, this instrument's actually in the drop, so Yeah, it kind of just warms you up to that. Yeah, probably have some volume automation here. And I have, you know,
This cat is
sticky.
This cat is sticky.
Right. It's like a super weird minimalistic build-up. There's no like fucking snare builds or anything weird like that. All you really use I just recycled shit from the drop, because I kind of made the drop first, then started working on the intro, and then if you use elements from the drop, it will all kind of, I don't know, it will all just kind of be real nice and cohesive throughout, because, you know, you have elements here, 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 so it all just kind of melds together. So yeah, kind of used elements from the drop, just made a really weird, easy build-up, you know. Then a little bit on the most important part here, we have This Cat Is Sticky vocal. And this is actually a recording of my cat and me saying "This cat is sticky" with a frequency shifter on it, so.
This cat is sticky.
Right, so if we take the frequency shifter off, it sounds like this.
This cat is sticky.
Like that's what it sounds like.
This cat is sticky.
Nothing, really. Then
This
I'm
cat
like bending the frequency up to like 120 hertz and like, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah, I don't even own this. But yeah.
This cat is
really
sticky.
super easy and basic up to that point, and then I was like, I want to do something fucking weird, because it's fun to make weird music. So yeah, just basic kick snare. This should be pretty quick to go over. Nice heavy kick snare. I have a cymbal loop. But let's go over the fun. Let's go over the patches here. We have, well, first we have the stab. It's one layer of it. That's like a sub layer of the stab, I guess. Then we have this main bass. So this one was, yeah, see, we can see we're fucking redlining the shit out of it. But it's fine. Honestly, I was going for that sound, and the redline, it doesn't really mean much if you're, I'm going for sound here, not really, I don't know where that's fucking headed, but yeah. If it sounds good, it's fine in my opinion. So, we're just gonna go in here, and I have some weird modulation here in the serum. Pull this up. I'm just modulating the combs cutout frequency. When you're driving a signal a lot and you put a combs on there as well, it just makes really weird noises. So I'm just modulating that frequency here. See, I have more here. Just nice, crispy, juicy fucking sound in my opinion. Then we have this here, which is like, I just Control D that fucker, and then this is just like a high version of itself. You know, cut out the lows just because I needed a little bit more high-end presence when I was making this. And then I also have, what else do I have in here? I have this, so that's not even activated. Let's see. Yeah, sub. I don't need a sub for this. This sounds just fine without one, because usually you'd only want a sub if you can usually tell if you need an external sub if it just sounds off. And that sounded fine. It was bassy enough for me, so I just went with it. And we have this here. Let's see what this is. It's just another like random glitch, like fill thing. I think it's like a reactor preset that I fucked around with. So that's some things I do. If I just I want a random instrument or sound, I'll grab a preset, then I'll do my touches on it, get it where I want it. So we have that, and then we have another layer on top of that. Well, that's a sub layer. Packing as much bass in this fucker as possible, I guess. Then we have stab here. I think I can select the right thing. So this is a fun one. So you can kind of see here, if you look at this instrument right here, and you look at the main bass here, they're pretty damn similar. So basically almost every sound in this drop is routing from the main bass. So I find it's such an amazing way to save so much time. Is if you just understand how to get certain sounds, then you can just take like a random sound like this, right, and transform it into something like this, right? Which, you know, really isn't that hard of a thing to do. You just kind of attenuate some envelopes and shit like that. But if you know how to transform sounds from one thing to another, you can save so much time not having to go reinitialize Serum, go fucking make a whole new thing with wavetables and everything. You can just go from this, Control D, and then you can create a whole new sound just from this preset, but it's totally different, like a pluck like this. It all kind of routes from the same thing, so they're all even more cohesive with each other. So we also have this thing as well, which is just this is like a harder pluck. This one's like super easy to make, just fucking, you know, download free, envelope, filter, like just a download fucking dead mouse pluck with an OTT on it. So yeah, I was just, you know, sound design, fucking around, just creating a bunch of just weird different sounds and trying to pack them together in a way that sounded crazy but not too crazy. And this one's a juicy one too. So this is, once again, the main bass up here. This is just, you know, in kind of different form, and yeah, honestly, it's just a lot of just messing around, making a shitload of basses and putting them with each other and whatever fits. So I'll just play kind of where we are right now. We have the like this area we were just talking about, all the plucks and random shit. We have the move back again to this area, and remember it's my automation here. And then it's really just that same thing for 2 or 4. And I have this fill here with damage. I put this, I swear I put damage on like every single song in this fucking EP because I just love the sound of the drums. It's just fantastic, but I don't know where I could arm it, but like they all so crispy, so yeah, you can hear for yourself. But yeah, I have this, and I have like I believe I have no, I don't even have a reverb on that. So I just have this as kind of a weird fill type thing, like a just drum ensemble as a fill in between these two sections here. And then we get this area here. This one's fun. So then I came over here, I like took this chunk, duplicated it over, right? And I was like, okay, so let's make another version, because I usually will make like 1 or 2 different iterations of the drop. I'll just like copy it over and fucking do it. And this one, I just started messing around with different cutoff automations here, so we can take a listen to those really quick. We have this one as well. So yeah, I just wanted a really kind of weird, almost like glitch hop vibe, or kind of like almost like a Mr. Bill type vibe. But yeah, I was just fucking around with cutoff automations and just weird patterns and stuff. And this whole section here is a totally different vibe, because we can tell here I have my sidechain channel here. This area here is actually sidechained from the kick. This one is not, so we can take a listen, the difference. Like, I'll take a listen to the group. Right? This one's sidechained to the group. This one isn't, so we can take a listen here. So it's like... Right, so it sounds weird without a kick, but it's not sidechain because I felt like it kind of got a really nice sound, and even though it probably doesn't meld too great with all these weird ass low frequencies, it sounds just fine to me. So yeah, let's take a listen to this section quick. Right, and I do have that legendary cat sample in here as well. So I felt like it needed it on like the wing part, so I have that. But it's auto-tuned to the key, so we don't go out of key here, you know. So slapped like a my cat sample. So without it, I don't know why the fuck it is. It's funny. So we have that. That's like the second section. Literally no new sounds, really. I don't think. And actually, we have less sounds in this section than the first section, so we can actually, what the fuck am I looking at? Yeah, so we can have our first section here. We have a ton of these sounds down here, and we're just missing these ones, but they sound they sound just as full. There's like two alternate versions of the drop, so that continues the weirdness of the song. Then we go into this chorus area. Basically the same thing as the intro. I'm not really going to spend too much time on it because it's just using that reactor analog fucking sequencer bullshit. Then we get into the second drop, which is actually really cool, so I'll get started on that. My camera might shut off because we're getting close to 20 minutes already. Wow. But yeah, so we get in this area here, and we can just pay attention to a lot of variables here. Pay attention to the tempo here. A lot of variables changing about this particular drop. I thought this was really fun to make, so we can see. We're going from 95, and we're fucking cooking up there. 128.
This cat.
Yeah, so that's the shit I like. Here, so now we went from 95 to 128, so now we have fucking energy in this fucker, you know? So, and another thing, I like techno, right? But I don't like boring. I mean, it's fine, but I can't handle that fucking for hours and hours. So I had to make it interesting here. So I was like, you know, I should make the mixing more difficult and shitty. I should put a fat, subby techno kick in the super sub bass intensive track, right? And have a side chain that's kind of half-assed there. It's kind of there, not really. It's probably there for like half the kick. And like you can see, these basses are pretty sub-heavy. It's pretty intense, and yeah, so I was like, okay, let's put a techno kick in this fucker. I did it, and yeah, sounds fun, especially on a big system, and I did play this live. I should post that on YouTube. Sounds fun on a big system, honestly. It sounds pretty cool. And yeah, let's go over kind of the modulation here. So I did more modulation, the same sound throughout. It's just super, I don't know, super elusive sound, I guess. Can do a lot of weird different things here. So just did some more automation. Try to get kind of a rhythm, like maybe just like a techno rhythm, almost kind of like a psytrance rhythm in a way. Then I use these fills again, like I was showing you before. So yeah, like honestly, it's all routed from one fucking drop. I just make one drop. I try to create as many basses as I can because it's better to have more basses at your disposal that kind of fit in the song than to have not enough. So like I would go in, make a fuckload of basses, then start arranging, then see if there's any holes in there, fill them in, and boom, then I would create a drop, right? So I'm just gonna go over this again because I think this really helped me. This kind of stepped my game up a little bit. Not saying I'm good at it all, but that's, I don't know, kind of stepped me up. So I made one drop, right? Used all the basses, a really nice, beautiful full drop, right? Copy that over. you can use everything from this drop into the next one. I even subtracted some elements. Sounds just as full, just as fresh. I can copy and paste that over. Really, no new elements here, just kind of fluctuating and changing around the existing elements, kind of what I'm doing here with the filter cutoff with the combs, and it sounds just as fresh as well. So you can route fucking 4 different ideas from one. It's if you think about it, super time efficient, and yeah, so you already have all these bases made. Just do a few changes here and there, and then boom, got something whole new and fresh. So yeah, put a techno kick on here, and then I raise the BPM, and let's take a listen to this drop again. It's really fun.
This cat.
Because I'm redlining on basically every fucking track. If I get to it, I'll show you the master chain, and it works, but I don't know, probably not the best, because I had to do a lot of picking away at this fucking piece. We go again here. Then I have a kind of other weird drop here. I kind of got this idea. I don't know what it was. It's just kind of, I don't know what kind of triggered this idea, but I know it's a track, probably by Wolfgang Gartner. I'm not too sure, but yeah. I used to listen to a fuckload of his shit, like all his 2011, 2012 albums, Great Agenda and Weekend in America, like a ton of that. And I think I got some inspiration for this second drop almost. It kind of just reminds me of some of the tracks in there. So I made this one. Kind of just the initial flow of this one. I kind of just wanted to add this too, because, as I was saying, I make a fuckload of just drops and stuff. Just kind of copy paste, different iterations. Alright. Oh yeah, I'm back. So, anyway, I was talking about this. So, yeah, this is another thing. Another drop, routing from a drop that was routed from another drop that was routed from another drop, all routes from each other. It's so much easier than making a drop and then starting from fresh. Just fucking copy paste the old one, change enough variables so it doesn't sound boring and fucking old, because this is different enough from this that it fucking works, right? It's all routed from that. Super beneficial thing that I just kind of started doing that just saved me so much time. So then, wrote it into this drop here. I wanted to showcase the techno side a little bit of it. And then, is that all? That's really all for that track, honestly. It took me a long time to explain it, but yeah, this track honestly probably took me the longest just because I wanted it to be good, because it was so weird. I couldn't just half-ass it, because then it would be weirdly shitty, right? I wanted it to be weirdly good, right? So I had to put some extra effort in this fucker, and ooh, down here. But let's take a look at this master chain quick. So this is where I could probably learn something. So any criticizations are very actually appreciated, because I know I'm doing shit that's fucking stupid, right? But I don't often have enough people telling me that. So yeah, if you ever see anything, please point it out, because I need to be better at this, because I love it. So let's look at this beautiful master chain here that I've constructed. But I am cooking some loves out of this song, so I'll take it.
This cat.
Let's just look at the yield real quick. I'm going negative 5.4. I'll take that off of a track like this, honestly. That was my kind of thinking, is I don't know. I could be totally wrong about everything I'm about to say in this next 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna give my kind of perspective. So yeah, it was kind of always oh, you need to make sure you have this, you gotta make sure you gotta pay attention for this, you gotta watch out for that, you gotta make sure you're doing that. and then that kind of subtracted from the overall, sound of the track, because I was always worrying about all these little fucking details here, and then it kind of just ended up sounding shitty, right? But then if you just stop overthinking mastering, honestly, things just sound better. Because I know people have probably gone through it too as well. You spend so much time mastering a track, and then the more you work on it, the shittier it sounds, because you're always like overthinking these details, and then you get like a cascade of, I made this adjustment, now I need to make a fucking polar adjustment, and then just shit gets shitty, right? So yeah, I just started picking away at these peaks here, because it's coming in a little hot, honestly, and so we can see this first ozone. Nothing really kicking off peaks here. Giving a little signal rise and dynamic tone. That's fucking a little too much juice up there. So that's the first one. Then here's the second one. Something a little bit more. It's literally just compressor maximizer here. And just a really fast character, really fast attack. Just trying to knock down some peaks. A little OTT because, I don't know, it looks cool to have it on your master chain, so I put it there. This one, starting to kind of brick wall it a little bit, push it a little bit more, but still, we're fucking 3 ozones in. We're still just trying to get these peaks down, but it's not really that necessary for tracks that aren't as fucking like, oh, what's the best way to describe it? Like almost fucking just, I don't think it's really that necessary to have that many like things that I'm doing to take down all your peaks. If you're just doing like a more like mellow or heavy, like if you're just doing dubstep and it's just like kind of like the same bass over and over, like still, yeah, you gotta fucking pay attention and do a nice job, but like there's a lot of weird instruments that cause a lot of peaks in the signal. So yeah, unless you're having kind of that issue where you have a lot of peaks, you want to take it slow. You don't want to try to compress them all down in one instance.
This cat.
Where are we? Number 3? Yeah, number 3. Now we're on number 4. Now we're starting to compress it down so you can kind of see. Now it's getting a little bit easier on the maximizer. And we are going a little heavy on it, honestly. But I like cranking the shit out of my signals, so it's a habit of mine. Also, I do solo my lows because I'm smart. Yeah. It's good to know it's good to know a shitload of rules of mastering, so you know which ones you can break and how to break them without causing issues, Because making sure things are in phase and keeping your low end mono is pretty important, but there's also some things that aren't important, but you gotta know when they would be important, It's great to know all that type of shit. I'm not saying I know any of that shit either, but I think I know a few things. But anyway, the last ozone. Now this is just cleanup and just additional sausaging the fuck out of the signal, so I can get my nice, almost -4 lows on a track this weird. I'm curious. Well, I wonder what it's like over here. I think I probably got it pretty good, honestly. This one's a little bit less crazy, so I think you could get a little bit more. Yeah, so this one's actually quieter. Yeah. Right. So if we look at real time, we're getting like -4. So, yeah. I said I wasn't going to try to take up too much time because I don't want to really edit this down, because I think it'll just be kind of interesting to look at these files in a few years and of me talking about them. But yeah, one more look at the file. Took me quite a fucking long time to make this track, maybe like a week and maybe 2 weeks, like a week and a half probably, which is pretty long for me, honestly. I usually can fucking get a track like 90% done in like a day or two, because I have some free time because it's like the summer right now, so I just fucking cook tracks out. And yeah, because yeah, that's really it, honestly. And now on to the next song. So yeah, thank you.